What's up, everyone? So, one of my subscribers was mentioning how they dealt with neglect, and they had a neglectant father who was spending too much time with their career and with their friends to really look within the family and take care of the family. And before I even go into it, I just want to say I really appreciate all of you. You guys tell me your personal stories, and I have a lot of respect for that because you trust me enough to let me know about you, and I want to trust you enough to let you know about me. So if you ever do have any personal questions you want to ask me, please do, and I'll more than likely answer it for you. So, but anyway, back to the story on dealing with neglect. Neglect is a very difficult topic to deal with because there's so many avenues that you can go into how to work with it and how to get out of a neglected situation. So if you do have friends or family members who are neglecting you, it would probably be in your best interest to have a conversation with that person. Now, first things first, try to empathize from their point of view. The reason you do that, you don't want their defenses going straight up, because the second you start talking about what you're seeing and what's going wrong with what they're doing to you, their defenses most likely are going to go up, and they're going to talk about how you don't see the truth, you don't see the bigger picture and why they're doing what they're doing. But if you take the time to empathize with them first and really understand them and what makes them tick, they'll be more inclined to do the same for you. And so that's when you can kind of open up and explain to them, hey, I feel you're neglecting me in this particular area, and this is why I feel that way. They'll be more inclined to listen. Some may agree, and agreeing is one thing, but taking action on it's another thing completely. A person can say, yes, I have neglected you, and I will make these changes to not neglect you anymore, and they may never make those changes. Now, with that being done, the best thing I would say for a person in that situation is to avoid those type of people. Do your very best to avoid them. Now, sometimes they can be really close family members, though. So if they're close family members, how do you avoid that? It's one of those impossible things that you can't. And so with that being said, one of the best things I say, live in abundance. And what I mean by that is focus on what you do have. Don't focus on what you don't have. When you focus on what you don't have, it can cause anger and it can cause resentment. But if you focus on what you do have, it's going to put you in a position to have a stronger light and do the things necessary to do to maintain what you do have instead of what you don't. Another thing, it is okay to get help. If you need to get help, if you feel like this neglect is to a level that it's actually dangerous, go ask for help. I see too often people stay in bad situations, whether it be husband, wife, friend, family member, for whatever reason, and they feel stuck, and no one's stuck in anything. There's always choice. You always have some sort of choice somewhere. It might not be your favorite choice, and you might not like some of the consequences with the choices that you choose. But the fact of the matter is that you have them. And when you realize that you have them, it moves you in a position to take the necessary action to put yourself in a positive situation. Always do your best to put yourself in a positive situation. If you need to get help with something, ask for it. Ask people. Because I'm telling you, most people will be more inclined to do their best to help you in a situation. And sometimes you directly talking to a person that may be neglecting you might not be the best option. It might be someone else that they're even closer with, talking to them and explaining to them like, look, you're hurting this person and this is what you're doing to hurt this person. And that might be the light bulb that they need to kind of go, I didn't realize I was doing that, So give yourself options. There's always plenty of options out there. And do the very best that you can. I don't want anyone to ever feel like they're being neglected. No one should feel that way. No one should feel lesser than. We're all human beings, and we all deserve to be on some sort of equal footing, or at least the best that we can. Make the equal footing as best that we can, and do our best for our fellow man and our fellow woman and love people up, you know. Now, with that being said as well, I'm not saying acting toxic. If a person is acting toxic, that is toxic. You don't want toxicity. But looking deeper inside what that person is, looking deeper inside what they could be capable of, knowing their true nature when they're on top and doing the right things and helping one another. That's what I'm about. I'm not about just agreeing with people for doing toxic things for the sake of doing toxic things. That's not a good thing, and you definitely need to call people out on that kind of stuff. If a person's doing toxic things, you definitely have to let them know, and you have to, but there is an approach to that as well, you know. I'm going to go over that probably in another treadmill talk, because this video is going a little bit longer than I expected, but it's a very complicated video. It's much more complicated than, hey, follow these 4 tips and everything's going to be better. It's not always that way. Things just aren't that black and white. It becomes a very complex issue. But anyway, if anyone does have any questions, or if anyone's feeling any kind of neglect, please let me know, because I want to help in the best way that I can possibly help, or even send you in the direction where you can get the necessary help. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.